She was a single mother on welfare, clinically depressed, writing in a cafe because her apartment was too cold to work in. J.K. Rowling had nothing, and she said that nothing was exactly what she needed because it meant she had nothing left to lose and could write anything she wanted. That manuscript became the best-selling book series in human history. By 1993, Joanne Rowling's life had collapsed by almost every measure. Her marriage had ended. She had a baby daughter. She had no job and no income. She was diagnosed with clinical depression, severe enough that she later described it as a dementor's kiss, not just sadness, but a hollowing out of hope itself. She was living in a small Edinburgh flat that she could barely heat, collecting welfare benefits, wondering if she had made every wrong turn there was to make. By the world's accounting, she was a failure. She began walking her daughter to sleep every day in a pram, and on the way home she would stop at a cafe called the Elephant House. She would order one coffee, make it last as long as possible, and write, not as a hobby, with total commitment. The story she was writing had first arrived in her head on a delayed train 5 years earlier. A boy who didn't know he was a wizard, who didn't know the world he actually belonged to. She wrote it with the intensity of someone who understood exactly what it felt like to not know where you belonged. Here is the reframe that made everything. Rowling looked at her poverty and chose to see not humiliation, but freedom. She had no career to protect, no reputation to manage, no professional audience to write for. She was invisible, and invisibility meant she could write anything. A children's story about magic and death and the power of love without anyone telling her it was impractical. Having nothing to lose is one of the rarest creative freedoms in the world. She used it completely. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was rejected by 12 publishers. The 13th, Bloomsbury, accepted it, and only because the 8-year-old daughter of the chairman grabbed the manuscript and refused to put it down. Rowling received an advance of $1,500. She was told not to expect to make money from children's books. She kept writing, the second book, the third. She kept writing with the same intensity of the cafe years, because she understood that the poverty that had produced the story was gone, but the discipline it had forged was permanent. The Harry Potter series sold over 500 million copies. Rowling became the first billionaire author in history.